Hey there, this is Ruben from Dutch Round 1. Thanks again for coming by. Thanks for watching another episode. As always, I appreciate your time and I appreciate your support. Today, we continue with the irregular verbs exercises. This time it will be the imperfectum or the simple past. But before we do that, remember to give the like, subscribe to the channel if you want more content, and let me know in the comments how well you did and if these exercises were useful for you. But without much further ado, let's go straight for the exercises. So how will we do this exercise? Well, you'll see a slide. The first slide will have a verb, just an infinitive, and you need to put that verb in the simple past or the imperfectum. If you don't remember how we form the imperfectum, click on the following link. I made a movie about it, and then basically you can refresh your memory. We'll do the first exercise together, so you have a better grasp on how to do the exercise. Everything will be in the simple past, and all the verbs are irregular verbs, right? So there's no rule, you just kind of have to know them by heart. This exercise is made to test whether you know them or whether you don't know them. Anyway, it's a learning process, so I think it might be quite useful for you. If you want to think a little bit longer, then basically pause the video, and that way you have a little bit more time to think and find the right solution. Okay, let's go to the first exercise and see how we will do this exercise. All right, so as you can see, you see oefening 1, exercise 1, and then you see drinken. Drinken is to drink, right? And you need to put that in the simple past. So you need to say, I drank. So how do we say I drank in Dutch? Well, we say, ik dronk. Okay, so the correct answer would be ik dronk. So this is the way how we're going to do the exercises. All right, let's go to number 2. So vinden is to find. So how would you say I found in Dutch? Okay, I found in Dutch. How do we say that? Well, the answer is coming your way, and it's ik vond. Ik vond. We'll go to oefening 3. Oefening 3 is blijven. Blijven is to stay. So how do you say I stayed in Dutch? Okay, correct answer is coming your way, and it would be ik bleef. Ik bleef is I stayed. We continue with number 4. Number 4 is beginnen. Beginnen is to begin, to start. So how would you say I started? I began in Dutch. Remember to give it a pause if you want to think a little bit longer, and the correct answer is ik begon. I began is ik begon in Dutch. We continue to number 5, lezen, of course, to read. So how would you say I read in Dutch? I read in Dutch is ik las. Ik las is I read. We go to number 6, and number 6 is the verb to see, zien, okay? So also irregular, and how would you say I saw in Dutch? I saw in Dutch. The correct answer is coming your way, and that would be ik zag. So I saw is ik zag. We continue, and we go to the verb schrijven. Schrijven is to write, okay? So how would you say I wrote in Dutch, okay? There we go, and the correct answer would be ik schreef. Ik schreef would be I wrote. With I and J, mostly they are irregular, the verbs which have an I and a J, and in most of the time, 99.9% of the cases, that IJ in the simple past or in the perfectum also, so in the present perfect, will change into an E. That might be a little bit of a rule which you can hang on to, but it's not 100% exact science either. All right, so we go to oefening 8. Oefening 8 is kiezen, to choose. So how would you say I chose? Well, that would be ik koos. Ik koos is I chose. We go to the next one, worden. Worden is to become. Become, so how would you say in Dutch, I became? Well, the correct answer is coming your way. Let's have a look. And it would be ik werd. Ik werd. Okay, we continue. Oefening 10, exercise number 10. Then we have one of the basic verbs of the Dutch language. We have the verb zijn, to be. So how would you say I was? Well, very close to English. Let's give a look. And it's ik was. I was is ik was. All right, we go to oefening 11. 11, gaan, also one of the basic verbs of the Dutch language. Gaan is to go. So how would you say I went? Okay, in English it's irregular, and in Dutch it's the same. All right, that would be ik ging. Ik ging is I went. We'll go to oefening 12, exercise 12, and we have spreken. Spreken is to speak. In English, it's irregular, I spoke. In Dutch, it's the same. So how would you say I spoke in Dutch? Well, that would be ik sprak. Ik sprak. Then we continue to number 13. Very important verb is genieten, which means to enjoy. So how would you say I enjoyed? In English, it's regular. In Dutch, it's irregular. There we go. Correct answer is coming your way. And the correct answer is ik genoot. I enjoyed is ik genoot. Okay, we continue with oefening 14, exercise 14. Helpen is to help. English, it's regular because you would say I helped. However, in Dutch, it's irregular. So how would you say I helped in Dutch? Well, the correct answer is coming your way, and it's ik hielp. Ik hielp is I helped in Dutch. We go to number 15, oefening 15, roepen. Roepen is to shout. So how would you say I shouted? Again, regular in English, irregular in Dutch. I shouted is ik riep. Ik riep would be I shouted. Right, number 16, vallen. Vallen is to fall. I fell, also irregular in English. So how would you say I fell in Dutch? And that would be ik viel. Ik viel is I fell in Dutch. We go to number 17, zoeken. Zoeken, to search. All right, so how would you say I searched in Dutch? English regular, however, Dutch irregular. Again, remember to give it a pause if you want to think a little bit longer. And the correct answer would be ik zocht. Okay, ik zocht, same like kopen, ik kocht, bezoeken, to visit, ik bezocht. So of this kind of family of irregular verbs. All right, we go to number 18. Zwijgen is to stay silent or to be quiet. So how would you say I stayed silent or I kept silent? Well, that would be an I and a J, so that might be a little bit of an indication. And the correct answer is ik zweeg. So as you can see, that I and J becomes a double E. Ik zweeg. So I stayed silent, I kept quiet. Number 19, vangen is to catch. How would you say I caught? In English, it's also irregular. So in Dutch, it's the same. Remember to give it a pause if you want to think a little bit longer. And the correct answer would be ik ving. Ik ving is I caught in Dutch. And then we go and take a look at the last one, oefening 20, exercise 20. That would be dragen. Dragen can be to carry or it can be to wear. So how would you say I carried or I wore? Well, we'll take a look at the correct answer just now. And the correct answer would be ik droeg. I wore, I carried is ik droeg in Dutch. Right, so these were the 20 exercises for today. I hope you did well. I hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments how many you got right, how many you got wrong. Let me also know if this was useful for you or not, if you like this kind of exercises, if you want more, and so on. So basically, I want to thank you again for watching. As always, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. Speaking of support, remember to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. And as for me, I want to wish you a great rest of the day and stay tuned for another episode of Dutch Round 1. Ciao!